Okay. I don't know what you guys can see.
Yeah, that's showing your
okay.
screen, so that all looks fine.
So I am Laura. I am obviously, as previously mentioned, from Cohort 11, and I am a self-proclaimed accessible marketing specialist. I'm still getting used to saying it to people. It's interesting. It's only been a few months, so it's yeah. So I wanted to talk a little bit about my background because I think that I come from. I'm neurodivergent. I've got chronic illnesses. I was unemployed for 8 years before I started doing this. So I think a lot of people can relate to that feeling of starting Basecamp and not really knowing where they're going to be at the end of it. I know that a lot of people that I've spoken to feel the same way, where they kind of came into it and were like, I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing. And then I did software development where I discovered accessibility, but realised that I didn't want to spend the rest of my life looking at code and decided to shift into digital marketing, and I did Basecamp, and from that I now have a little business. It's called Udessa. I don't know what I've got an extra screen, so I'm doing hand movements by accident. It's
I love that.
So we are based in West Yorkshire, and we do everything relating to design and marketing, but from an accessible standpoint. Looking at how we can make things more inclusive for disabled people, but also for people that maybe aren't able to access things financially or through lack of knowledge as well. The term accessibility has sort of opened up over the past few months. And the name comes from my partner, who's Finnish, and Udessa means together in Finnish. So it's a bit of a nod to him. And he is also part of the business, but he's behind the scenes. So yeah, so we're working to make the world of digital marketing more accessible and inclusive for business owners and their customers. And then a little bit of what we do. So I do one-to-one coaching. I do a lot of stuff with small businesses who can't really afford to have a social media manager. That's the end goal, because none of them want to do it themselves. It's horrible. It's awful. The pain in the butt. But I sort of guide them in terms of how to make the most of what they're doing and how to make it a little bit more manageable. I also I've just about 10 minutes ago confirmed the venue for my first workshop, where I'm hoping it'll be a sort of monthly thing where I'll have small businesses come and chat to each other and share content ideas and do a little bit about planning and scheduling, analytics, things like that. And it seems to be quite popular. I've got a lot of people that are already sort of saying, "Ooh, yes, please," because nobody likes social media in the real world. Everybody hates it. I also do creative access consulting, so working with marketing teams and designers and everything like that, around how they can make their projects more accessible. And then we also do design services, which is my partner's side of things. I just let him do his own thing with that. But I wouldn't have been doing any of the stuff that I'm doing now if I hadn't started networking on week 6. And it was Amy Wild on Careers Week that gave us all a challenge to find a networking event and sign up to go to it. And that was on the Wednesday, and I went to one on the Thursday. And I went in being like, oh, I'm going to do brand design and it's going to be, oh, I'm going to do the design side of things. And I started talking about accessibility. And by the end of the evening, after several drinks, I had founders of design agencies planning my career path and sort of being like, when you're ready, you can come and do this for us. And I was like, oh, okay, so it's interesting. My biggest thing is finding the right network for you, because there are some that don't fit what you're doing, and you'll go in and you'll go, I hate networking, I'm never going to do it again. There are, I mean, I go to some regular, some sort of ad hoc stuff, but I tend to veer towards the sort of creative and women sort of specific networking things, but it's finding ones that are within your niche, I suppose. It is hard. I am lucky that there's a lot of stuff around me, but there is, and it does take a little bit of Googling. But they are out there, and there are some really fun ones that you might be intimidated by on the surface, and then you go and you're like, oh, all of these people who are like big shots in business are just kids that are muddling their way through and also trying to work through it. So this is the networking stuff that I do, which is quite a lot now that I'm sort of looking at it, and I'm always looking for new ones. This sort of takes over my social life a little bit, but luckily the people there are nice. So the SAM networking one is, they have them in Huddersfield, Leeds, Halifax, places like that. And it's about 30 people, and every Friday morning I get up at 6:30 to get there. And I get a full English breakfast though, so I can't really complain. And you stand up in front of everybody and you do a 60-second pitch about what you offer, which is terrifying. And the first, I was going to say the first few times, I'm still get very nervous before I do that. But my sort of confidence from the first week to now, I stand up and I just rattle on and hope that something sticks. Yeah, and then the rest are sort of like a little bit more mindset stuff. Wilson's Republic is very much kind of creative focused. And then Ally North is a bit more accessibility. And I think a lot of the time you can look at stuff and be like, oh, that's not for me. I know a lot of people post-course have gone to marketing specific things, but for me, the sort of marketing specific networking is great because you can commiserate with other marketers about the job market. But as a freelancer, getting in a room with different small business owners is invaluable. And I think a lot of the time it's building relationships with people over periods of time that are really, really helpful. And it's, I've met some really nice people as well, which is good. Yeah. Don't wait until you finish the course. That's the only piece of advice that I could give to everybody. Don't wait until you finish. Start figuring it out now, because otherwise you'll get to the end and you'll go, oh, I don't know what I'm doing now. And I know a lot of people are feeling like that. Yeah, that was it. Thank you.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you, Laura. That was great. That was brilliant. Thanks for sharing that with us. I think that's really, really good advice as well. Because so many people do wait till towards the kind of the end of the course.
Yeah.
But something like networking, you may not even fully know what role you want to go into, but that's the beauty of networking, really, because like you say, you've met so many people who have helped shape what kind of partly what you're delivering today.
Yeah,
It's helped you kind of know, help shape the area you want to go into and stuff.
massively. And it's every time I've had another conversation with somebody,
Yeah,
it's kind of steered me in a slightly different direction, and in a direction that it's like, oh, actually, this is far more me
yeah,
than I was originally going. I kind of thought you have to go in this linear path, and I think that I've ended up doing something completely different. I kind of went into, oh, maybe I'll do social media management, and then I was like, oh, actually, talking to other social media managers, I realised I couldn't think of anything worse than doing other people's social media stuff.
yeah,
So it's but also everything good that has happened has come from being in situations where I felt uncomfortable.
yeah, yeah,
And that's a weird feeling to sort of get over. And because I'm quite an anxious person. So,
yeah. I remember you saying, and am
yeah.
I right in thinking that it was your first networking event you went to after Careers Week? Like,
Yes, the
hadn't
first
been
ever
event
one.
before. Yeah.
Yeah. And I did have a few drinks. I worked my way along the shelf. And
Yeah,
that does help. If you drink and then you can drink,
it
do
did
it.
help.
Not too much though, because
Yeah.
you end up.
Yeah. Oh
But
no.
but no, it's good, and I think that especially in marketing where it's all about talking to people,
Yeah.
kind of that, even if you're like, oh, I don't want to go on my own. That's the other thing. Go on your own, because I've been to stuff with other people, and you spend all of your time chatting to the person that you're with,
Yeah. In
and
your comfort zone.
yeah, and it is hard. I mean, it is hard. The first one that I went to, I sort of got stuck in a little group
Yeah.
of people that were also really nervous, and it was their first time.
Yeah.
And I had to go and have a little pep talk with myself in the bathroom and say, if you stay with them, you're going to stay with them all evening. Suck it up, go and sit with somebody. And I did, and I just sat in front of them until they made eye contact with me, and then I was like, hi. It's it is awkward, but
Yeah.
everybody feels awkward as well. So
Yeah.
join
Exactly.
in.
And I guess the more you do it, do you feel a little bit more at ease now? You've kind of go into them a bit more regularly as the
I don't get as nervous beforehand.
yeah.
Or someone, I'm just looking at the chat, someone said, can I show the workshop slide? I'm waffling on about something else. I don't get as nervous as I used to, which is good, and I'm hoping that'll kind of continue.
Yeah.
But a trick that I found was playing music really, really loud in my car on the way and screaming along, because you don't have time to think about being nervous at that point.
Yeah.
Chaperone is very good for that one as well. Bit of Pink
Okay.
Brony Club, just yeah.
Oh, I love that. That's brilliant. I think there's quite a few different comments in the chat. So bear with me 1 second. Um, yeah, there's a lot of people saying great advice. Love your company. Um, I'll just read a couple of these out. So, comment from Rebecca. I have quite rose-tinted view of other people in my field, mostly due to seeing online all singing, all dancing brands. So I think meeting more peers would normalize and humanize people, giving me
100%.
more confidence. I can have a space in the industry.
I think a lot of people that I've met feel that as well. And I
Yeah.
think that there are people that have been going to the Friday networking thing that I go to that have been going for 4 years,
Oh,
who
wow.
are who still hate getting up and doing their 60-second pitch.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's like it's scary, but it's scarier beforehand. When you're in it and you start chatting, all of
Yeah.
a sudden it's like, oh, actually, this is These are just people.
Seems a bit more natural and a bit easier. Definitely. I'm going to open the floor up to any questions. I don't know if anyone's got any questions for Laura. Anything they'd like to ask? Business related, network related, or anything?
I think someone's got their hand
Got
up.
Catherine with her hand raised.
Oh, hi, Laura. I just wondered, because I'm kind of at a loss of what to do with myself going forward. And I just wanted to understand, because I've been kind of thinking about exploring various options moving forward. And one of them would be to see if there's an opportunity to help small businesses. But I'm just wondering kind of how small and what sort of budget they would have. Because not a lot of people at the really small level of small business have actually got any money to spare. So I'm thinking, if I went out there, if it was a route that I decided to go down, what sort of budgets would really, I suppose it depends, everyone's different, I suppose, but I just wondered kind of in terms of kind of just starting out, what level of experience you had and what types of budgets or what type of companies are you dealing with? Just so I can kind of understand budgets and things as well.
Yeah. I mean, pricing is really, really hard, knowing sort of what to price your stuff at, because there are a lot of people. I've sort of had people be like, oh, actually, I can't afford some of your services. And I think it's about the people that can get the most value out of it will be the ones that are willing to pay for it. So in terms of what I am charging, because I think that can often be quite helpful. For my workshops, I'm charging 25 quid. And I'm looking to get about 20 people ish. I've got that's optimistic. The coaching side of it, I'm looking at about 30, 40 an hour. And that seems to be a nice sort of sweet spot for a lot of businesses where, because a lot of the one-to-one coaching, it's a 2-hour session. So if it's slightly less, the analytics sort of deep dive part of it, I'm pricing it at about 80 for 2 hours. Whereas the sort of content planning, where I don't have to do as much prep, I'm looking at around 65-ish. But I think that it is hard because small businesses that are just starting out don't have a huge amount of money, and that sort of under 100 is just seems to be the sort of sweet spot for it, I suppose. But it depends on what you're doing and whether or not you can sort of sell the value of what you do as well. Because I know that a lot of the people that I talk to have sort of got an established-ish business, but are in sort of their first year, and their budgets are quite tight, but they're making money that blames. I feel like I'm going over the same point. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to know, and I think that it's having conversations with people. You will figure that out.
Thank you.
I hope that's somewhat helpful.
Yeah, it was. Thank you.
Thank you. We've got a couple more questions, if that's okay with you, Laura.
Yeah.
So Macy has said, how did you deal with your anxiety in deciding whether to work for yourself or working for a corporate company, if you don't mind me asking?
So I didn't really have much of a choice. So I've got ME and I sort of chronic fatigue, chronic pain, things like that, and I've had that for 16 years. And no employer was ever going to be, they're never going to be able to accommodate me as much as I can. And for me, I can sort of get a little bit work done and then go and have a lie down on the sofa. And that's not necessarily because I'm tired, it's just because I can't be bothered to do work for the rest of the day. But it's having that sort of flexibility is great. However, working for yourself is really hard. And it's a lot of work just to set up a business. And then you've got to convince people that you know what you're talking about. And then you've got to convince people that because you know what you talk about, you're worth paying. So it is, I think it's depends on what it is that you want to do. I think it's all very sort of individual specific. And yeah. But I know a lot of people have issues with both sides of it, so it's hard out there.
Thanks for that, Laura. Oh, Macy's just said thank you. Okay, and we've got a question in from Amy. Is your one-to-one coaching face-to-face or in person, or does it vary like per customer?
So I either do like Google Meet or Zoom, or if they're in the sort of Huddersfield postcode and they're suggesting somewhere nice, I'll go and meet them in person. I've done a lot of sort of face-to-face stuff, which I prefer. It's a little bit easier doing face-to-face than online, but I also know that there's going to be some times where I'm not well enough to do the sort of face-to-face stuff, and having things via Zoom and stuff is it's a lot easier.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess then you're not taking your travel into consideration. Like obviously you've got your time to wherever you're going to and back again and stuff you need to think about. So yeah, that makes sense. At least you've got the flexibility there.
There's also some really nice cafes near me, and so if they do food,
yeah,
I can be tempted.
You can be persuaded.
Yeah.
Love that. Brilliant. Has anyone else got any questions? Got any of those in the chat at the moment?
Marie with her hand raised.
Oh, sorry, I can't see hands raised. Thank you, Georgia.
Thanks. Yeah, I didn't have a question. I just wanted to say like this was like a really good reminder, because I feel like I used to do like a lot of networking before and it was paid off and it was a really fun thing to do. But then I know you can kind of get comfortable. So it's really good to just like see all of this and like hear your story, because it's made me think like this week or next week I should just get to networking events. So yeah, just a useful session. Thank you.
Good. I'm glad. It is. If you go to the right one, it is fun, and I think that I've met some really, really nice people who I would probably consider friends now, which is. And also, if you told me that I'd been networking a year ago, I'd have told you to bugger off. So it's the confidence thing is it's huge, massive.
I love that. And did you find Basecamp was part of that, or like from when you first started going networking, it just kind of built from there?
I think it all sort of combined together. I probably wouldn't have gone to my first networking thing had I not been doing Basecamp, and so it's sort of all mashed into one big kick up the butt to sort of do stuff, which is nice.
Yeah, definitely. It's great to hear what you've been up to. It's really cool. And I don't think you have a date yet, but I know your website is going to be launching soon.
It's up.
It's up. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Amazing,
know.
fantastic. I will share that with everyone here afterwards so they can have a little look.
Yeah.
And you're also on Instagram as well, aren't you?
Instagram, yeah, and also I I might not know what I'm talking about, but if anybody is sort of interested in having a chat and are kind of feeling a little bit lost and or not sure what to do, and I've waffled, I'm a little bit more concise one-on-one, so I'm always up for a chat on LinkedIn if you
Perfect. I will
it's always
share
nice.
Oh, that's really kind of you, Laura. I'll share your link and your details afterwards if that's okay with you.
Be great.
Brilliant. And just on the networking front, we do have an event Slack channel. So we post all different events from kind of all over into there. So just to keep an eye on that page for any networking stuff.
Yeah, I can post some stuff that I come across as well. I'm always looking for other people as well.
Yeah, there's so many out there, isn't there? They're all different shapes and sizes, but like you said before, it's finding one you feel you may be comfortable or your kind of people
Yeah.
in your kind of event that you want to go to. So
And also, there's no shame in turning up to one and then going, "Oh, these people are not my people," and dipping early. There's like that in and of itself is like you are allowed to leave. You're not sort of held hostage for the entire. Although it does sometimes feel like it.
I think that's good advice. Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for sharing your experience and everything you've been up to. You're getting lots of thank yous in the chat now.
I know, I can
really
see.
nice. Brilliant.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you. And yeah, I'll speak to you soon, Laura. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Perfect. Thanks,
Bye.
Laura. Lovely to see
Thank
you
you.
again. Take care.
You
Good
too.
luck with
Bye-bye.
the as well.
Yes, we'll see.
Brilliant. Oh, thanks for that, To. It's really nice to get like the previous like Basecamp alumni back on. I absolutely love to see them again, like see what they're up to. It's so fun.
Yeah, definitely. No, I'm really excited for her. And yeah, I love everything she's got up to and all the things to come as well. And yeah, it's really nice having to share her experience with you all today. So hopefully you enjoyed that. And yeah, we'll have more guest speakers on each week. But yeah, that's Laura for today. So I hope you all enjoyed.
Amazing. Thanks so much, To. Thanks for organising.
No problem. Take care.
Take care, To. Bye.
Thanks, Dor.
All right, good stuff. Joe, my lot are going to take a break. Are your lot going to take a break as well?
Do you guys need a break? All right, okay. So
we've got Amy like strong head nodding.
Okay, let's take a 15-minute break then, and then back here quarter two. And then obviously for your lot and Nayars, you're gonna be back to your own Zoom link.
Exactly right. Yeah. So me and Naya's group back in the Zoom link we were in before at quarter two, guys. I'll see you then.
Right. See you later, guys.
Bye.
Joe.
Hi, Zora.
You know the Google Sheet. I mean, I went to the website. How am I supposed to download? They're asking me to sign in and all that. Do I have to do all that?
Yeah, so Google Sheets should be one of the apps that you can use when you're logged in, if you're using Gmail.
I'm using Gmail, so
Yeah.
I can sign in. They're not going to bother because right now I'm getting a lot of emails from SEMrush because I signed in yesterday.
I don't think so, because I know as long as you've got your Gmail and you're using it, it's one of the features that you can use within the Google Suite.
And that copy it and take it to Canva.
So I'm not sure. I've not done that before to import an Excel.
How will I put it in the workbook then?
You can screenshot it or you
Oh,
can create
screenshot
a
it. Okay.
table. You can use one of the Canva templates with a table in it instead of using a spreadsheet.
Canva table. So I just say create Canva table in Elements.
Yeah, you can try that.
Okay, okay, I'll do that. Okay, thank you.
No worries. Hi guys, welcome back. Just waiting for the rest to turn their cameras back on. Let me share that with you, Rebecca. Are you with Nayar?
Yeah, I am. But I don't know where the link is.
Should be in the mentor group, but I'll post it here as
Oh,
well.
okay.
Nayar and George's group are in one Zoom link today. That's the one.
Thank you.
Nice. Right, just waiting for the rest. We have a small group today. It's just my mentor group. Gareth is not here. Are you with me, Eileen? Or are you with Georgia or Nayar? Right, how many have we got? We've got 12. I think we're missing maybe one or two more. Anyway, I'm gonna open up the breakout rooms now. If we can pop on our cameras, please, Emma, Maria, and Bruna, and Sophie. That would be fab. So let's just work on the first task and then come back here at 3:30, if that's okay with everyone. Again, if you guys have any questions, then just pull me in. Just click the ask for help button in Zoom. So since we have a small group, I'm just gonna open two breakout rooms with 5 to 6 participants each. There you go. And I think Fayez was asking for help as well. I'm not sure if Fayez is here. Are you there, Sophie? Are you gonna stay here, Zora? You're on mute. I can't hear you, Zora. You're on mute.
I mean, I'd like to stay here, but I'm not going to, because I get more confused.
We're actually supposed to be in breakout
Okay,
room.
I'll go into the group if you send me a group. But I'm in actually Canva and trying to create a table, but it's not coming up as a table, as a spreadsheet table. None of them are coming up. They're not coming up. I put in elements, create spreadsheet. I also put create table. It didn't come up. It comes up with all the information on it. It's not like a spreadsheet table.
Let me try that myself.
and I have Pro, you know, so I can.
So you're probably clicking an image itself. So if you go to I think it
Great.
you should go to template.
Hi, I'm so sorry, Joe. Hi, guys. I'm a bit late.
Hi, Tanya. I'm gonna move you to one of the breakout rooms.
Thanks. I'm so sorry. I was
Fine.
trying to do too many things in one go.
Fine. So we'll be back here at 3:30.
Okay, perfect. See you, Nana.
The time was quite limited then.
So instead of, if this is your slide, instead of going to elements, you go to design.
Let me, yeah, design, yeah.
Go to design, and then you go to templates.
Mm-hmm.
And then just search for a spreadsheet if you want. And then you can choose any of these templates here.
Ah, this one here, look, this one is a good one.
Yeah, and then you obviously
Design, and then spreadsheet. Okay. Spreadsheet. Design spreadsheet.
and then you edit that.
Okay. Thank you.
You will have to join one of the breakout rooms.
Yeah, but I haven't got that link for it.
Okay, let me try to resend that. There you go.
Okay.